Call now. Operators are standing by.
This is Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew Show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio. SoCal Sports Talk. Here's Scott Kaplan, Alex Padilla, and John Browner.
Welcome back, everybody. Kaplan and Crew with just the crew. Alex Padilla, John Browner, Jason Lawhead with you guys today. Scott is back tomorrow, and we'll get back to our normal. It's Friday. He'll probably do the Friday thing that Browner loves so much. But we are here with you today, a Thursday, a wet, cold Thursday here in San Diego County and throughout California. And pretty much the entire West Coast is cold and snowy and rainy. So here we are, Kaplan and Crew, brought to you by 7 Mile Casino and brought to you by Penske San Diego. I bought my new car from Penske San Diego. It's a new way of buying a car, in my opinion, because they have an incredible website that tells you every single car they have in every single one of their dealerships. And they got lots and lots of dealerships. Go on their website, PenskeSanDiego.com, scroll through their inventory, and you'll see exactly what I saw. When I pulled up to Acura of Escondido, they had both cars that I was interested in, pulled up to the front. I saw both of them, picked one, bought one, left, got it, and it's that easy almost. So PenskeSanDiego.com. Go check them out, Penske San Diego. Boys, it is spring training. It is full swing. We are in the dog days of sports radio right now between the NBA All-Star break and there being no basketball until tonight, with the end of the Super Bowl, with the start of spring training. We're kind of in this weird period where basically every national radio host is taking vacation right now, but we are approaching games soon. How soon? Tomorrow. The Padres' first spring training game is tomorrow. And I think a lot of people, the one thing they care about this spring is how does Fernando Tatis look, right? That's what people care about. That's pretty much the only thing people care about. I think every other thing is a normal spring in San Diego. Was I expecting Fernando Tatis to go out and play every single game this spring? No. The dude is still recovering from 3 surgeries. You expected it.
Yes. Why? Okay, let me ask you a question.
Yes.
It's been a year. It's been a year. So we were told.
Yeah, 2 surgeries this offseason.
We were off season. He's had a year of an off season. He's had the longest off season of off seasons in any off season. So therefore,
it's like 17 months of off season.
Right. So if he's had 3 surgeries, he's had almost 15 months to recover.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever is wrong with him, he should be fine. The fact that if anybody on that roster needs to have the most games played this spring training, it's him, because he hasn't played in a year and his body rhythm is all off from his natural baseball body rhythm. So until he gets out there, all these drills he's been doing, all this work he's been putting in, it's mute. It's literally mute. Until you get in the line of fire, you don't know if you're okay. So what has he been doing? And this is what bothers me about certain organizations when they don't properly communicate with their fan base. I was under the impression that he would be ready to go the first game of spring training. So now he's not, because you're going to ease him back into it?
Correct.
What are you easing him back into?
Well, let's let the manager answer your question, because he was on Jim Rome yesterday. You can hear Jim Rome here at noon to 3 on the mightier 1090 if you're listening on radio. Bob Melvin was on Jim Rome and answered that exact question, Browner. Like, when is he going to play? How does he look? And what does he got to do to start playing games?
Man, he looks really good. You know, for a guy that's gone, haven't played basically in 15 months, has gone through 3 surgeries, 2 on the wrist and 1 on the shoulder. You have your doubts and how long this is going to take and what he's going to look like when he first comes back. Is he going to be favoring anything? This guy's ready to play. As a matter of fact, he was arguing with me about getting in that first spring training game here. That's how good he feels. But there are a few more boxes he needs to check. We've got him diving back into bases, doing some things before we get him. But, he'll be somewhere in the first week of games here, and he's just itching to go.
So
that just no,
just baseball stuff, Browner. So they're not letting him slide. They're not letting him slide head first into bases. That's the thing they don't want him to do anymore. But he still has to dive back to first if he gets on base. His shoulder is 100%. He has said that it is 100%. My shoulder feels better than it's felt since it started popping out. But his wrist they've never put a number on it. However you want to take that. They've never said it's 80, 90, whatever. They've never said anything about the wrist. So I think they're still a little concerned about the wrist. And at the end of the day, Browner, I think they're concerned, and Lawhead, you may or may not agree with this, about their $340 million investment being wasted for another year.
If he's not ready to play spring training game now because his wrist isn't in the condition that they feel like it should be, then he's never going to get rid of whatever's left over from the surgery.
Well,
Like that's how
Tatis is arguing to play,
you see
according to
this.
everything.
You see this. You see this.
People on
Never
radio
the
cannot.
same.
Browner's pointing at his wrist. There's
If
two
you're
scars
watching, I had vertical nerve damage across my wrist during an injury playing basketball. So I had a screw in there. I still have plates in there. Stuff is still in there, active that wasn't in there when I was born. Once you get cut open, you're not the same. You're just not the same. So this idea that he's going to, if he's not ready now, then this is the guy you're going to get. Because a couple days into spring training, he's not going to feel much better. Like, when's their first game?
March 30th.
And from now, from the 23rd to the 30th, he can't slide back to first base? Like, Bob Melvin, I like you, bro. I really do. I really do. I think you did a great job last year. I think you're going to do a good job this year. But that's BS, bro. That's BS. It's total BS.
So what if he plays Sunday?
Listen, this is what I'm telling y'all.
He's not playing tomorrow, but what if he plays Sunday?
He's going to revolt. He's going to revolt on Bob Melvin. Because if he's telling you he's ready to go, down the line, not right now, down the line, he's going to revolt on Bob Melvin.
You hear this, Jason? You hear this?
I'm telling you.
You hear the panic on February 23rd?
It's not panic.
That Tatis is not going to play tomorrow?
It's not panic, man. It's not panic. What I'm saying is, if the guy has been off all this time, and then he's not ready to go now, what's a couple more days? What's the difference? Because he's not sliding back to first. Why hasn't he been doing that? Like what has he been doing?
We don't know if he has or hasn't. We haven't seen videos of it.
Well, you could say if that's the excuse, and Browner makes a great point about like how long is this recovery, and I don't know, how long do you wait? How long is this? Now we've gotten through the clear of the suspensions and everything. Like, when are you going to get this guy ready to play baseball when he's allowed to play baseball? And if that's your excuse right now, then he should at least be in the first few games pinch running and just saying, hey, we're going to have you steal. We're going to have you steal a base, or we're going to put you in the hit and run. We need you to work on sliding leg first into second, sliding leg first into third, be leading off, maybe diving back the way we've been teaching you. I mean, you got to at least get his wheels in motion. You can't just be sitting here going, wow, we're going to keep looking at the wrist and keep, checking the wrist, and we're going to keep monitoring the wrist. It's like, and Browner's right. Like, I mean, and you got to put that thing to the test.
Yeah. I got to say this though. For real, like, hear me out before you jump on me. If April 20th comes and he doesn't play because of this, then I freak out.
Okay.
April 20th being the first day he's eligible to come off his suspension. If they're telling me that Tatis is not playing April 20th because he's still having issues with the wrist, then I start freaking out. I'm not going to freak out on February 23rd about him not playing on February 24th in the first spring training game. I just can't get there yet. I can't even wrap my head around being upset about him not playing the first week.
If the guy is telling you he's ready to go,
mm-hmm.
and I'm not saying that he is injured still.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
My question is to Bob Melvin now. The guy is telling you he's ready to go. As an organization, as a whole, from top to bottom, the guy can't play for 15 days, is it? 15 games?
20.
11?
20.
You got 20? Okay.
20.
The guy can't play for 20 games.
Mm-hmm.
20 of them. So the best thing that you can do for him right now is to play him as much as his body can handle at this particular time. And if day one you don't put him out there, when do you start? Like, how do you work a guy in who's been out for 15 months if you don't put him in on the first day? He's not a sub. He's not some random dude who you got as a throw-in in a trade, okay? He's not some Rule 5 player who you just got. This is the guy.
Okay,
So
put it on
play
the.
him.
If you're on YouTube right now, if you're part of the Chatlands, Papa Chatland's freaking out in spring training before game 1 even happens. Is Browner freaking out, or is this freak out justified? I'm very curious to know what people think. Let us know in the chat. Let us know if you're on Twitter, social media watching this, because I'm genuinely like, I just don't see it at all that way. I'm not trying to disagree with you guys, and I'm really not trying to just play this side. I just really don't. People don't play in spring. You know, like,
Yeah. You're right. People who played
people
all
that
year.
play 160 games a year,
Yeah,
and
correct.
that haven't played. I mean, the people play in spring that are itching to play, that haven't played in a while, that have been suspended or injured, and are being, especially on a team like this right now. I mean. That doesn't fly, and Melvin even says himself, he indicts himself by saying that if he's being honest, then Tatis has said, I want to play. And they're like, well, we're going to watch you dive back.
This is also the organization that fought him in 2021 when his shoulder kept popping out. He was the one that made them play him. He was the one that was like, just give me a day or 2 or 3 and I'll be back. I'm not doing the surgery. So I think that the organization and Tatis are now on. Let's not forget, after everything that happened last year, the organization runs the ship now. The Tatis boat is driven by the organization. It's not driven by Tatis anymore. So they will play him when they think it's okay for him to be played. I don't think Tatis is ever going to tell because of who he is. I don't think Tatis is ever going to say he's not 100 and ready to play. I think Tatis is always going to say, I'm ready to play. I'm ready to play. I'm ready to play. I'm ready to play. This is the dude, Browner. You were the one that freaked out. This is the dude that was playing soccer in the outfield, that was picking up a bat when he wasn't supposed to, that was in the batting cages when he wasn't supposed to.
You know why he was doing that? You know why he was doing that? Because they wouldn't let him play.
Right.
That's why.
He wasn't
they wouldn't
ready.
Let him play.
He's like that little kid that like one of the players brings that just always is running around the kid. He's just like, whose kid is that?
Doing stuff. He's Dusty Baker's kid running out while some guy's sliding home.
I'm going to text Browner. I'm going to text Browner on Saturday afternoon at 12. So the Padres play tomorrow at 12:10. Then they play again on Saturday at 12:05. I will text you at 12:00. I will text you at 11:05 when the lineup comes out. Like, hey, look who's in. I bet you he plays this weekend or on Monday or something. Like, he's gonna play. I don't think it's that big a deal. I genuinely don't.
I honestly believe, for the morale of him and for the morale of the team, the first game of spring training, all the everyday guys should run out at the same time.
Do you remember the movie? Do you remember the movie Troy? You guys ever watch the movie Troy?
I did not see
Colin Farrell?
No, it was with Brad Pitt.
I did not see that.
Brad Pitt.
Okay, never mind. I'll just move on then, because I was about to say something about morale and Achilles coming out for the battle, but never mind. No one's going to get it. It's not going to be the Achilles reference I dropped yesterday.
All I'm trying to say is this: if his relationship with Bob Melvin doesn't go well, that's bad for everyone. Because when he comes back, I can't stress this enough. Again, I've been around alpha athletes, really successful players, my entire playing career, whatever you want to call it, a career. If you are back to firing at all cylinders and you're giving them what got you the Gatorade ad, what got you the Adidas contract, what got you the face of baseball, if he starts doing that again, everybody's going to go back to listening to everything he says. And Bob Melvin, if you don't get in line when you had the chance to, you're going to be out.
Yeah, we could have that conversation if it happens. I'm not going to have that conversation right now because all those guys that you talked about that you know personally that are elite athletes probably didn't crash a motorcycle in Dominican Republic multiple times and probably didn't get suspended for steroids in that same season. So I think that we always have to put that in reference, Browner. I understand what you're saying. If he's hitting 300 and hitting bombs and playing elite defense and Nike, and by the way, Adidas dropped him, so he dropped Adidas. He's rocking Nikes now. I think that if he starts getting Nike back, he starts getting Gatorade back, and he starts being on the cover of videos and magazines again,
because he will,
then let's have that conversation then. But you can't have it right now because that's not the reality that we're in today.
That's all the things you're saying are true. All those things you're saying are true. But for them to maximize his value, those things have to become true again.
Sure, I agree with you. I mean, the Padres want to have those conversations. I promise you, they want to have those conversations. But right now, Tatis is being told what to do, and he's falling in line, and his camp has told him fall in line. That's why he said all these things, and that's what it's going to be for right now. So I didn't think we were going to get that heated about this. I really thought it would be. I genuinely was just going to like, hey, so he's not playing tomorrow, and he may not play
No,
until like next week.
no,
Interesting. Well, we'll see what happens.
no.
We'll see when he does play. I believe
Just
Nick Martinez is starting the game tomorrow, and then Ryan Weathers is going to pitch tomorrow.
hey, oh my
And
guy.
dude, if Ryan Weathers could figure something out and not be
Ooh,
a 6 ERA guy for the Padres, that would be so huge for them to get another arm that they could count on. But he was awful last year in the minors
6 is
in El
bad.
Paso. He was brutal. But
6
yeah,
is bad.
spring training is here, man. Baseball in Peoria that tomorrow. Padres baseball is here. LFGSD. Uh, Jason, when we were in the middle of that Tatis conversation, you said something
Mhm.
like the caliber of this team. When you have a team like this, what does a
Yeah.
team like this mean? And I have been on a lot of betting websites because I think that I'm going to Vegas next month and I'm going to drop some futures on the
Okay.
Padres. And I'm thinking this is exactly where I'm going first. The MLB over under win totals are out. Multiple sports books have put out their win totals. Here's the one that I'm going with from BetMGM. On the left column, if you're watching, it's the top 10 teams in baseball. And on the right, it's the NL West. Here is the win totals for all of baseball according to BetMGM. The over under Astros, 96.5. Dodgers, 96.5 as well. Braves and Yankees and Mets, 95.5. And there's your Padres at 93.5 wins. In the NL West, like I said, Dodgers 96.5, Padres 93.5, Giants 80.5, D-backs 76.5, and Rockies 67.5. I got to tell you guys, when I saw this, I was not surprised where the Padres were. I got to tell you, I'm very surprised where they were in relation to the Dodgers. The fact that Vegas and odds makers still think the Dodgers are the favorite to win the NL West, I think we've been living in a very, very, very high cloud this offseason because of all the moves that they've done. But in reality, Vegas odds makers still say the Dodgers are favored to win the NL West, and I find that surprising.
Well, Vegas goes with consistency, right? They go with what do the numbers always say and what have they been saying? And even if you were, so they're going to sit there and go, consistency, the formula says that the Dodgers do much better against the Rockies and the D-backs and the other teams in their division always have. And I gotta believe that that's got to be where that 3 wins lie, is in that kind of just formula.
Yeah, I think also if you look at the Dodgers rotation, that's an elite rotation.
Yeah,
And
of
they
course, it
still
still
have
is. Of
a
course.
starting rotation that
And that wins a
give
lot of
wins
games.
a lot of games. Yeah, they lost Tyler Anderson, who was a revelation for them last year, but they still got their guys,
Yeah.
Urias. They don't have Bueller, but they do have Dustin Mayback, Kershaw, Gonsolin. Like they still have arms in that rotation
And
that
they
is
still got
still.
a lineup that can break open big innings
But
anytime.
that's
So
where I
you
feel that they lost a lot, and
well,
that's where I'm
they
surprised.
did, but they still have. I mean, you still have Betts, you still have Freeman. Yes, you did lose some players in the heart of that order, but um, you still have. You've got 2 of the top 3 or 4 MVP candidates every year in the National League, right there in that order.
Well,
So
we'll get to that soon. Browner, what do you
yeah,
think about the Dodgers still being favored?
I think sometimes old habits are hard to break, man. These lazy people at MLB, I've been telling y'all for years, these people are lazy. They're sitting on their hands. They're not paying attention. And all they do is regurgitate the same BS they did from last year. They ain't done no deep dive. They ain't put no real work in. Because if you did put any real work in, you see that the Dodgers have lost a lot of significant players. Okay. Trey Turner was a massive part of what they did last year, and he is gone. And the Padres have added Xander Bogaerts. Whatever you think of him as a hitter or a fielder, he is a top flight player in Major League Baseball. The Padres have 4 of the best players in baseball. And I get that the Dodgers are great with their everyday guys and they've got some good pitchers. But who Who's the headline guy who everybody loves, the pitcher?
Mookie Betts?
No, the pitcher. The
Clayton
pitcher.
Kershaw?
He is old, bruh. He is old. Like
So's Darvish.
what? Right, but he's older when it comes to pitching. So for me, I think that the fact they have put the Dodgers in front of the Padres, not by a lot, but in front nonetheless, I think that it's just lazy. It's easy for them to do. If they're looking at the roster top to bottom, I think the Padres
You don't think Vegas
roster
is looking at the roster top to
bottom.
bottom? You don't think Vegas is doing that? This is.
Of course they are, but like
yeah.
I said, there's other formulas at play, and it just, and that's where that 3 games is. It's in the historical short term. What do we know? What have we seen last few years? And that's where the difference
Also,
is.
there's
Of course they're looking at this.
Browner,
this
I'll let you jump back in when we come back, and Lawhead, we'll keep going on this as well. There is also a new schedule in baseball this year. I want to break down, because we're not playing the Dodgers 20 times this year. Right. So you're not playing 76 division games anymore like you used to.
They got lucky this year.
We'll talk about that when we come back. And then we'll also get into, Jason brought up the odds for MVP. Very surprising if you're a Padres fan. Kaplan and Crew, kaplanandcrew.com.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew Tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 AM, ESPN Radio, and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal. Brought to you by MedCline. Sleep better, feel better, live better.
Dominating the SoCal radio airwaves for over 20 years. Join Scott Kaplan, Alex Padilla, and John Browner for Kaplan and Crew every Monday through Friday, 3 to 6 p.m. only on the mightier 1090 ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk, and the mightier1090.com.
I would like to say welcome to the River Road African American Museum. What we do here at the River Road African American Museum is connect the past to the present.
Our museum was founded in 1994 by my sister Kathy Hamburg and our family to actually talk about the history along the river here in South Louisiana. We've been around for about 29 years here in the Donaldsonville and Ascension Parish area, and have become one of the premier museums for the state of Louisiana when it comes to African American history.
When you think about Black history, what we want you to understand is that this is more than Black history. This is Louisiana history.
Sponsored by The Barnes Firm. Proud to support Black History Month. Car crash? Call 1-800-8-million for a free consultation.
When someone you know has COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, things can progress very quickly, making them feel hopeless. But it doesn't have to be like this.
See, Mom, this place is going to be great for you. They're going to help you breathe better.
Pulmonary rehabilitation at La Mesa Rehab focuses on patient education and training. We use special therapies to improve your lungs, clear out mucus, and keep you out of the hospital. Pulmonary rehab is Medicare approved. Call now to see if you qualify, or ask your doctor about La Mesa Rehab today.
Since 1975, San Diegans have trusted the Murray-Lampert family for their home remodeling projects. We continue our commitment to deliver high-quality home remodeling and construction to our customers without an expensive showroom.
When you're adding companion units or ADUs to bring value to your home, our team has the experience to handle everything. Plus, our strong relationships with the city makes adding on easier for homeowners.
Visit murraylampert.com for your consultation.
The #1 disease in the world, according to World Health Organization, is dental disease. For 25 years, we've had one of the most leading group dental practices in the country. Imagine you're a parent, you're a mom or a dad, and you have a 2-year-old that doesn't get any cavities, and you have a 12-year-old that has a soda habit and gets a ton of cavities. Well, how do you determine what oral care products to get? It's really mind-boggling that currently there does not exist an oral care product company that specializes for kids. So we thought this is a great opportunity to get into that space and revolutionize oral care for kids. We have every single product that every parent needs for every person in that family. It's very comprehensive. The next thing is we customize your oral care products. Someone who has a lot of gum disease probably requires different sets of oral care products that someone has a very, very healthy mouth. And it's also conveniently shipped to your home every 3 to 6 months. Make sure you go to supermouth.com and check out all the educational content. And of course, check out our profile builder to get the right products for every family member.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew Tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 AM, ESPN Radio, and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal. Brought to you by MedCline. Sleep better, feel better, live better.
Listen to the Mike Greenberg Show, 7 to 9 a.m. Pacific, Monday through Friday. Greeny brings his unmatched depth of sports knowledge, fun, and entertainment back to ESPN on a daily basis. The mightier 1090 ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk, and the mightier1090.com. We'll be right back with more of Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew Show on the mightier 1090 AM, ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk.
Hey everybody, it's Scott Kaplan from Kaplan and Crew. And with me right now is Rick Slider. He's the CEO of MedCline, which, by the way, is a pillow that is going to change your life. You have no idea what I'm talking about, but I'm telling you right now. Rick, how you doing, man? Where do we find you today?
Scott, great to talk to you. I'm in sunny San Diego, a place you're pretty familiar with.
Yeah, I'm glad it's sunny out. I see the Padres stuff right over your head. That looks pretty cool. And some Beastie Boys. You got some cool stuff behind you.
We had a different sports team up on the wall for a while that had to be taken down, say half dozen years ago. But the Padres still flies prominently on the wall.
I love it, man. Hey, if you could, while we have this time together, can you tell everybody the backstory of MedCline and how you guys have become such a big San Diego company selling all over the world, and what the deal is with the MedCline systems?
Sure. MedCline started here in San Diego, started by a radiologist whose primary practice was at UCSD. And he was a longtime sufferer of heartburn and acid reflux. Tried everything, tried diet changes, was taking medication, proton pump inhibitors or PPIs that a lot of people take. But he was looking for a natural way to reduce his heartburn symptoms. And he found through trial and error that when he slept in an incline and when he slept on his side, his heartburn and acid reflux symptoms would dissipate. Because he's a doctor, he wanted to make sure that this just wasn't by chance. And so he set up some clinical studies using a system that he designed and patented. We got clinical trial results, found that there was a strong reduction in the esophageal acid that would take place during the night, reducing his symptoms. And with that, decided to create a product called MedCline and commercialized it a few years ago. And that is really how our company began, with his personal desire to stop his heartburn and reflux symptoms.
That's amazing. It really is amazing. Like when you have something wrong, you're like, I'm going to fix this problem. But you know what's amazing to me is that acid reflux is a problem that obviously a lot of people have. But for me, I have shoulder pain, chronic shoulder pain from the way I sleep, because I sleep with my arm over my head and then my pillow in between. So when I got my first MedCline, I didn't realize there's the reflux relief pillow, but there's the shoulder relief pillow. And it's completely changed everything for me. My shoulder pain has gone so far down because I'm no longer sleeping like this. I'm like underneath. And tell me about the shoulder pillow, please.
Sure. First of all, I'm so glad to hear that it's working for you. That's fantastic. Secondly, as we brought MedCline to the marketplace, we found that there were a number of individuals that benefited from therapeutic side sleeping beyond just those suffering from heartburn or GERD. And the primary use is for shoulder pain. And the reason I think people like you have been so comfortable with the MedCline is because of our patented arm pocket. When you try and sleep on your side and you have shoulder pain, you run the risk of your shoulder getting frozen, exacerbating pain that you might be feeling, whether it's due to rotator cuff, general shoulder soreness. And so our incline has a patented arm pocket that allows you to either rest comfortably on your elbow or to slide through, sounds like what you do, slide your arm through the system so you can stay at an elevation and sleep comfortably on your side throughout the night. And today, here in 2023, our shoulder product is actually our top seller. It surpassed those that suffer from heartburn and acid reflux, simply because there's more people with shoulder injuries across the country. And we're glad that we're able to help you out.
It's awesome. Hey, we don't have a lot of time, but in the last minute, would you just tell everybody how the MedCline products, though, have gone viral, particularly on TikTok? Just give us like a 30 or 60 seconds about what has happened.
You know, I'd love to say that I'm a marketing genius here, Scott, but really it's just about excited consumers sharing the benefits they get of MedCline. And it's amazing what happens when people finally can get a good night's sleep, how they're so excited to share that information. And recently, we've always been a part of social media, but recently we've kind of found a niche within TikTok. I didn't know that healthy sleep TikTok was a subgenre, but it really is. And with a few different posts, we've seen over just in the last 30 days, over 10 million people exposed to our MedCline products. So we're excited about the virality that this has created. I think it's in part because we have a 95% customer satisfaction rate. We know we can help people get a good night's sleep. It does take a while to adjust and sleep differently. But we're excited to see kind of the viral nature of our product grow, and we're excited to help out as many customers as possible.
It's awesome. I want to encourage everybody who's watching right now, go to medcline.com, medcline.com. Look at the different products. Know you're supporting a San Diego company, and I encourage everybody, sleep better with our friends from MedCline.
Drivers are getting in accidents at a rate we've never seen before, jumping 18% since 2020. There are higher incidents of speeding and more aggressive driving since the pandemic began. Please slow down and drive safely. It can save a life.
An ADU is an accessory dwelling unit, and has become one of the most popular solutions to housing in the United States. We constructed this to provide housing for my mother, who is elderly.
Well, I wanted to downsize. At my age, that's what I wanted to do. Eric engaged the services of Murray Lambert, a top building company.
This is an 825 square foot structure, but it actually looks more like 1,000 because of the spatial considerations. Micah was great. He took the ball and ran with it and came up with this really great combination.
It always appealed to me, high ceilings. It gives a sense of space, of openness, and I like that. Oh, I would give this experience a 10 for sure. Plus, 10 plus.
Learn about the many health benefits of MedCline pillows, from easing shoulder pain, reflux relief, and just getting a great night of sleep. Watch Your Health only on Your View, Sundays at 4:30 p.m. Brought to you by MedCline. Sleep better, feel better, live better.
The #1 disease in the world, according to World Health Organization, is dental disease. For 25 years, we've had one of the most leading group dental practices in the country. Imagine you're a parent, you're a mom or a dad, and you have a 2-year-old that doesn't get any cavities, and you have a 12-year-old that has a soda habit and gets a ton of cavities. Well, how do you determine what oral care products to get? It's really mind-boggling that currently there does not exist an oral care product company that specializes for kids. So we thought this is a great opportunity to get into that space and revolutionize oral care for kids. We have every single product that every parent needs for every person in that family. It's very comprehensive. The next thing is we customize your oral care products. Someone who has a lot of gum disease probably requires different sets of oral care products that someone has a very, very healthy mouth. And it's also conveniently shipped to your home every 3 to 6 months. Make sure you go to supermouth.com and check out all the educational content. And of course, check out our profile builder to get the right products for every family member.
At the Barnes firm, we're seeing more pedestrian and bicycle accidents. Drivers are rolling through red lights, and distracted driving makes every intersection a danger zone for pedestrians. Look both ways when crossing, even if you have the right of way.
Welcome back. This is Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew Show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio. SoCal Sports Talk. Here's Scott Kaplan, John Browner, and Alex Padilla.
All right, everybody, welcome back to Kaplan and Crew with Just the Crew. Today, Alex Padilla, John Browner, Jason Lawhead, and by the way, Jason Lawhead performing this weekend at the Comedy Store in La Jolla, featuring for Steve Ranazizi.
Yeah.
You'll know him from, if you watch The League on FX, that is where you will know him from. Tickets are sold out for the Friday 7 p.m. show, but the Friday 9:30 p.m. and both Saturdays and Sundays still have tickets available. Late Friday, early Saturday, very, very limited. So go check it out at the Comedy Store, comedystore.com, the La Jolla location. Tickets are only $25. Jason, anything else you want to add for that?
No, yeah, and if you can't make that, like I said, next Wednesday the 1st, I'm part of a fundraiser show at the Comedy Store. Not sure what the tickets are. You can obviously go to their website and check out Wednesday's show. It's for rescue dogs, like the older ones. So
Yes.
yeah.
So that's happening this weekend. Go check out Jason and Steve at the Comedy Store in La Jolla. We were talking about the Padres and their win total and how they're projected by Vegas odds makers to win. The over-under was 93.5. The Dodgers still at 96.5, favored to win the NL West once again. The Giants far behind. The D-backs and Rockies not expected to do much. But I brought up the schedule because for the first time ever, the MLB is completely revamping their schedule. Still 162 games, obviously, but every team will play all other 29 teams this season. What does that mean? That means that divisional games will drop from 76 games, which is more than half the schedule, down to 52 divisional games. You will play every team in your division 13 times, I believe 13 times, 4 series. Obviously, there will be one more away or one more at home, depending on who you play. Last season, in the 19 times the Dodgers and Padres played, the Padres won 5 and the Dodgers won 14. Browner said they got lucky. Those suckers got lucky that we're only playing them 13 times this year. I look at it as there's a lot more worse teams in baseball than there are good teams in baseball. So how will that affect teams that are good that go out and play teams that are crappy that they normally wouldn't play? You normally wouldn't go play every single team. So now you are. Is that going to make the better teams have a better record? Is that going to make much of a difference because it's baseball and winning 2 of 3 is pretty much all people want to do? I don't really know, but I do know, and at least I believe, that not playing the Dodgers 19 times and not playing the Giants 19 times and not going to Coors a billion times is very helpful for the Padres because they're not very good in Coors Field and they're not good against the Dodgers. And the Giants are always like 50-50 and the Diamondbacks like whatever. I think it's a win that you're only playing every team 13 times and not near 20.
I don't. That's tough for me because I felt like the Dodgers playing the Padres had a little extra juice to it.
Oh yeah.
I thought the Giants playing the Padres had a little extra juice to it, so I wanted to see more of those games.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why it was split from the beginning is because the leagues play different types of games. I guess now that they got rid of the DH, it doesn't matter who plays who. Then why do we still have divisions? Like, there's some parts of tradition that we need to try to hold on to in sports. This is not one I'm in favor of because it gives you less hatred for the other team. It takes away some of that because you don't see them as much. We're good now. We're good now. Bring the Dodgers on. Bring them on.
Yeah, I think the years past we were very much like, damn, like we want to play the Dodgers, but we also don't want to play the Dodgers because they've been dominating for the past 2 seasons. But I get what you're saying now, Browner's like now you kind of want to see how much they stack up. Yeah.
Right.
And also when you have divisions and you have leagues, that's how you end up with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the playoffs in the NFL at 8-9.
Right. Like,
so
I mean, I'm not looking forward to them.
Are we campaigning for the top 14 teams in all of baseball to get in? Screw leagues and screw divisions.
Yeah.
Well, I think,
yes.
I think leagues are good to have separate leagues or divisions, whether it was AFC, NFC, National League, American League. But I'm all for scrap the divisions and just line everybody up like they used to in the old days. But when it used to be just American League standings, National League standings. The winners of those two played in the World Series, and then they broke those two into divisions, created the League Championship Series, and now we've spread out to what we are now, 3 divisions in each league plus wild cards. I'd rather just say, show me the National League, show me the American League. If we want to have interleague play, which we've had, let's have it. I like, 13 games is still enough. It's still a good rivalry. It's still a lot of games, but play everybody. Play everybody in the league. 162 games. The best teams are going to finish out. They're going to wash out no matter if you played this team 6 times less than you did the last team, and then now you're playing a new team. Look, it's still you've got to create this almost masterpiece over a season to complete 162 games and win a division. So do it. But in my opinion, scrap the divisions and line them all up, and who's got the best records, 1 seed, 2 seed, 3 seed, play in whoever is your play in.
I think the fact that they added 3 wild card teams, though, you basically get the 7 or the 6 best teams. You don't
Right,
really,
but somebody might have home field that is like, wow,
right.
they
Well,
won that
that
division,
sure,
right?
but I still think
That's the problem.
I still think the way they lined up the postseason now, I do think that you're going to get the best teams.
This is baseball's best format they've ever had with what they're working with. They should keep this.
Yeah, I agree. I like it a lot, but it'll be interesting to see. Like now you're going to play, every team in the NL East every year. Now you're going to play every team in the AL, whatever, every single Central every single year. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Jason brought up the fact that they have the Dodgers, have year in year out. They have 2 MVP favorites in Freddie Freeman and Mookie Betts. Things are changing. Things are changing. Those 2 that might still be true, but in San Diego, you got 4 of them now. You got 4 MVP favorites in this lineup. The 4 horsemen, the 4-headed monster, whatever the hell you want to call these guys. Juan Soto is your favorite to win the National League MVP at plus 500. That's 5-1 odds, followed by Mookie Betts. Look who's third, Browner. Fernando Tatis Jr.
I don't get that.
At plus 900. Go down a little bit to 8th. Manny Machado in there, 15-1 odds. And if you go down to 15, so they got 4 of the top 15 favorites to win the National League MVP. Xander Bogaerts got 30-1 odds. I find that very, very interesting. Jason, I agree with you. Tatis, the 3rd best odds at 9-1 to win the NL MVP.
Soto at the best odds is a little shocking to me.
I think that people are very much the fact that last year they had a management change, they had a hitting coaching change midseason, then he got traded. I think that there's a lot of factors, and I think people bought into that. And I do think that if you look historically, Tatis was an NL MVP finalist when he was healthy. Soto before this last year was an
Twice.
MVP. Did he win the MVP? I don't even remember. Was he a finalist? So,
no, he was a finalist. I think the guy in Atlanta won.
I find it interesting that Tatis is $300 better money than Freddie Freeman.
Yeah, he was. Soto has not won,
and $600 better than Machado going into this season.
All I'm gonna say is this: at the end of the day, how the hell does the Dodgers have more projected wins, and the Dodgers have 4 guys in the top for NL MVP? So I'm gonna tell y'all this. I'm gonna repeat this one more again, okay? Because folks didn't hear me the first time. One more again. Everybody move. This the year. And if I'm gonna put my money on anybody on this list, by the way, the money's gonna be on Xander Bogaerts. Here's why.
Oh,
hear me out.
Okay.
Of all the players, he's gonna reap the most benefit because you got Soto hitting in front of you. At some point, when Bob Melvin lets him play, you'll have Tatis hitting around you, and you'll have Machado hitting around you, and Cronenworth somewhere in there who no one ever talks about anymore. But I like it because that's good because it's under the radar. So you've got all these perennial all-stars around you, MVP candidates around you. You just got to do you, baby.
I didn't
do you.
I didn't do this for the Cy Young, but you said how in the hell does Vegas still think that when we got 4 MVP finalists or odds favorites? So I just looked at the NL Cy Young odds of the top 15. No, you would think of the top 15, the Padres have 3 of the top 15, and the Dodgers have 2. Clayton
That's what I'm saying.
Kershaw's at plus 5,000. Blake Snell's plus 3,500. Joe Musgrove plus
Ugh.
3,000. Yu Darvish plus 2,500. And then Julio Urias is at plus 2,000, 20 to 1 odds. So, I mean, none of them are favorites. You know, it's Sandy
Right,
Alcantara,
sure.
Corbin Burns, Justin Verlander, Max Scherzer, Max Fried. Those are the favorites to win it. But I mean,
Interesting.
That's very interesting. And if you look down a little bit more, it's Tony Gonsolin's in there, but so's Josh Hader somehow. So,
well, maybe part of Vegas's formula is they're giving the Dodgers that slight edge because they don't have to play the Padres as many times. Maybe the way they weighted it against prior opponents and the fact that, you know, because if they've got more Padres in the MVP race and they've got more in the Cy Young race, then the Dodgers winning 3 more games really doesn't make a lot of sense other than possibly the formula saying, hey, they don't have to play the Padres this many times. We think the Padres are going to be really good, but still the Dodgers take care of business historically. So that's the gap. I don't know, because it's weird if you have 4 MVP candidates and 3 Cy Youngs and they have less on each list, how are they favorites?
Yeah, I don't know how it works. I wish I could tell you.
Beep bop, boop bop, beep bop.
Beep bop. No, that is very much a beep bop, boop bop. Very, very much.
There you go.
I will say this though. Last year, the MLB win total, the tracker for the Padres, their odds were at 87.5. They won 89 games. So
wow,
they're right there. They very much missed the Dodgers. The Dodgers were at 97.5 last year, and we all know they won like 111 or something like that.
Yeah.
So
Right.
I mean, they're just
got
projections.
smoked.
They're not projections. They're not telling you that's what's going to happen. That's just what they think is where the line is set. But I find it very interesting that Browner, you noticed it right away where I was going. The Padres have 4 MVP of the 4 of the top 15 favorites, but yet the Dodgers are still favored to win the NL West. I find that very interesting. We'll see what happens when the season starts, obviously later next month. So before we move on, I just want to say that this show, Kaplan and Crew, is brought to you by the Total T Clinic. Go check us out. Check them out at kaplanandcrew.com. Click on that I Thrive link. It's going to take you to I Thrive Lean. I'm on it. I've been on it for a while. I'm down. I'm almost there. I could almost say 40.
Wow.
But I'm at about 30, a little over 39. I'm almost there. I could almost say 40. I went into I Thrive on Tuesday. We have once again upped my dosage because the doc, Dr. Max A, who is like, bro, like it's working, but he kind of gave me one of these. He looked up and down. He's like, you still got weight to lose, and I was like, yeah, I know. So let's keep going. So we because I could stay at the dosage I'm at, and it'll be a little slower, but we upped it a little bit, and now it's up to me to keep eating better and throw in some workouts and watch these pounds shed away. I Thrive Lean, I Thrive MD. Go to kaplanandcrew.com. And please be patient with them. He did tell me they are very, very busy. He is hiring so many people to try and catch up to all of your messages. He will get back to you. He promises he'll do it as fast as possible. So if they are busy, just be a little patient. I Thrive Lean. It works. I went to the store. I had to go buy new pants. And I now wear sizes that I haven't worn since like college. So there you go. You guys, tonight, the new look Lakers hit the floor again. Anthony Davis will play. LeBron James will play. All the guys are back. They're taking on the Warriors once again. They have a very interesting schedule coming up. Obviously, the Lakers are 2.5 out of the 10 seed for the play-in, but they're only 3.5 out. Yes, 3.5 out of the 6 seed. So they're like right there for everything. And here's their schedule coming up. Why am I bringing up their schedule? It's because of who they play, and every single team is in front of them. They take on the Warriors tonight. They're in 9th. The next game is in Dallas. They're in 6th. Then in Memphis, they're in 2nd. Then in OKC, they're in 10th. Then at home for 3 against the Wolves, who are in 8th, the Warriors in 9th, and the Grizzlies in 2nd. Not the easiest of schedules, obviously. But if they can string together some wins here, Browner, of their next 7, if they go 5-2, you think they start moving up? You think this is where it begins, or are you looking at this team right now in their final 23 games that LeBron says is one of the most important stretches of his career? As you sit here today, do you see this team moving up, getting into the play-in, or do you see this team just flaming out?
This is what's about to happen in people, I'm sorry, but I got to tell y'all what I believe to be the truth. I can only speak to what I can see. I think they're winning 4 straight. I think they're going to win the first 4 because everybody's going to be fired up coming out of the break. Everybody knows what's at stake. And it's going to be one of 2 things that are going to happen tonight, by the way. Either they're going to win the next 4 or they're going to lose this one, and then that's going to be it. I think tonight is yes. I think tonight is very important. I know that sounds crazy because it's the NBA and blah, blah, blah. If these guys don't come out tonight playing with a playoff level sense of urgency, as LeBron James is your best player, you now have youth in your lineup. You now have energy in your lineup. AD's had a week off of doing nothing because he don't like to pick up basketballs when he only have to. If these dudes, AD and LeBron more specifically, don't come out tonight on fire, sending a message to the Warriors, and therefore sending a message to the NBA, then it's not going to happen. But I expect for them to just roll the Warriors tonight. Just utterly roll them.
No Steph Curry tonight. Obviously, he's still he's going to be reevaluated in a week, I think I saw. But yeah, no Steph Curry.
And aren't the Warriors who's at home? The Lakers at home?
Yes.
Yeah.
And the Warriors are disgustingly bad on the road. The Lakers should roll them tonight. I'm talking about 20-point win.
Warriors.
LeBron doesn't play a lot in the fourth quarter.
The Warriors are 7-22 on the road.
Comical. And this is what I'm saying. They should roll them tonight. There's no reason. They have no one to stop Anthony Davis. They have no one to stop LeBron.
Mo Bamba makes his debut, I think, tonight, right? He hasn't played for him yet.
He played in the last game. He played the game before the break.
Okay. I'm not watching, so I don't know.
He was like 2 for 7. He had a couple dunks and a couple.
We just need him to block shots. We just need him to block.
Yeah. Yes.
What do you think, Jay?
I agree with Browner in the sense that this is the switch game. And because at the end of the day, you can say that they're 3.5 out of the 6th seed, and yes, they are. But the point is when you look at the landscape of the NBA and where that 6, 7, and 8 seed is going to fall, you need to finish 4 games over 500. So you need to go. You need to look at the rest of the schedule, and you need to say a team that's played 27 and 32 ball all year has to go 16-7. They have to go 16-7 the rest of the way. They have to. They have to finish 43 and 39 for them to have any type of ability to feel good about where their slot is in this lineup of teams in the West. Whether that 43 and 39 gets them 6, 7, or 8, they've got to get there.
Can I beep-pop you?
Oh, God.
23 games remaining. 14 at home. But the 3rd easiest schedule remaining in all of the NBA.
So there you go. You made all these moves, and this is a huge game. Not only, and I agree, this is a huge game for that it has to start here at home, because then you're on the road in Dallas. I mean, if you go out and lose these
Dallas is not good.
I'm not saying they're good, but if you go out,
Lakers are notoriously historically awful against Dallas. Luka owns them.
These are the games you have to win. You're the better team on paper right now. And this is huge for Darvin Ham. This is huge for LeBron. It's huge for AD. The pressure isn't on D'Angelo Russell or Rui or the new Bamba. None of these guys. All of these guys are here to follow you guys through this door.
I love everything they brought in, because not one of those guys it remotely feels like Russell Westbrook felt, where they were part of a big 3. Not one of those guys are part of a big 3. They know they are behind AD and they're behind LeBron, and they got jobs to do. The one guy who is gonna have to score a lot is D'Angelo, but I don't think D'Angelo is going in there like, I'm part of the big 3. There is no big 3. It is the big 2, and I think a very good-looking roster after that, after all the moves that Rob Pelinka made, compared to what they've had. So I think that go ahead.
What a lot of people aren't mentioning is that the roster now fits.
Yes,
it didn't fit before. This now fits what LeBron does best. This fits now what AD does best. This is a better fit for their top level talent what they now have rounded out the roster with now fits. They
That
stop
being
focusing.
said,
Ain't it interesting, Browner, that you were so mad or crazy thinking the way you were about Tatis that they traded for Malik Beasley, who is dating Scottie Pippen's mom.
Was. She dated Michael Jordan's son now. She get around.
So Malik Beasley has been named a starter going forward. Malik Beasley, Vanderbilt, and D'Lo, LeBron and AD. Darvin Ham says, "This is my lineup. I'm not messing with it. This is my starting five." 30 seconds.
They're gonna tweak that. Mo Bamba's gonna be in the starting lineup.
All right.
And they're gonna tweak that down the line, because if you get AD and Bamba in there, bruh, ain't no layups. And that adding Mo Bamba allows them to put more pressure on the perimeter.
I don't know if you got enough shooting if you do that, though, but we'll see. We'll see.
Mo Bamba can make threes.
What the hell is going on in Alabama with their basketball team?
Oh, that could mean a lot.
Let's talk about it next. Kaplan and Crew, kaplanandcrew.com.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew Tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 AM, ESPN Radio, and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal.
Brought to you by MedCline. Sleep better, feel better, live better.
Locally owned and operated, not some bland, uninspired, corporate, cookie-cutter radio station crap. We simply say to those stations, Q. The mightier 1090 ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk.
Murray Lampert now brings architectural and interior design to a whole new level for your remodel, ADU, or whole house build.
We're truly a team at Murray Lampert Design, Build, Remodel, and we don't take that lightly.
Visit murraylampert.com.
This is a huge wall. I'm sure it presented some challenges.
You're right, Sarah. And what it was in the model we noticed there was too much wood. This was supposed to be clad. And with the beautiful stairs and railings, we realized that we need to come up with a different finish. So we used these reglets that are metal with the drywall, and it gave it this grid look that also matches up with the beams.
Wow, that came out beautiful. If you want to see how they conquered more design challenges, check out Our Family, Your Home.
Sponsored by The Barnes Firm. Proud to support Black History Month. Car crash? Call 1-800-8-million for a free consultation.
When you're adding companion units or ADUs to bring more value to your home, our experience plus our strong relationship with the city makes adding on easier for our homeowners.
At Murray Lampert, we listen to you first, then design and build. Visit murraylampert.com.
If you're going to count yourself as a fan of this radio station, you'll need to continuously ask yourself one basic question. Am I listening enough? Pro tip, wives are not a good source for input on this. This is the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio.
When you're adding companion units or ADUs to bring more value to your home, our experience plus our strong relationship with the city makes adding on easier for our homeowners.
At Murray Lampert, we listen to you first, then design and build. Visit murraylampert.com.
For many consumers, sleeping at night should be an easy experience. For many, it's not. There are a number of reasons for that, most notably those that suffer from acid reflux or heartburn. There are also many individuals dealing with various pains or ailments. MedCline is a sleep solution company with our goal to allow people to have a healthy and peaceful night's sleep. And we do that with our therapeutic side sleeping systems. Our patented, clinically studied MedCline relief systems are designed to place an adult in an elevated side sleeping position, which can help them reduce the symptoms or issues they're dealing with. MedCline systems are registered with the FDA, and as a medical product, MedCline systems are qualified for use with FSA and HSA funds. For anyone looking for more information, you can visit medcline.com/sleepbetter.
Hey everybody, this is Scott Kaplan from Kaplan and Crew Tonight here on Cox Your View. Just want to tell everybody that Cox TV home base throughout Southern California, but you can get us on radio on 1090. You can get us on our YouTube channel, all the different audio podcast platforms. And I want to say thank you very much to a San Diego-based company that's selling all over the world. That's MedCline, MEDCLINE. MedCline.com. They're going to change the way you sleep. We appreciate you guys.
Thank you for joining us. Catch Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight from 7 to 8 p.m. Pacific every Monday through Friday. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk.